Top of the morning to you once again, and welcome back to the Afia Morning Show, this action-packed Monday morning. My name is Nathalie Uku, and Oji Wachiko is here. Good morning, Oji. How do you do?
I'm great. Thank God for life. Eventually, that's all I can say, man. Weekend was filled with chaos. The chaos personally and the chaos all around the country just because of election. People will be, tearing themselves up and down. Why? Because you want to attain a height to go and loot.
Yes. Well, I feel like INEC has yet to live up to expectations. There's always one complaint or another about INEC. Security officials as well, I think, need to do more, because sometimes things are happening. I just wonder if people really respect security. There's certain things that you will not be seeing happen. But right there in broad daylight, you see certain things de-escalating.
So many impunity.
Right.
So many impunity. And is this happening?
We'll continue to watch and see. I mean, some are saying that we're being prepared psychologically for 2027. Let's watch and see. Barrister Chiagozie Nwabuko, chartered mediator, of course, and conciliator, joins us this morning. Barrister Nwabuko, so good to have you.
Good morning to you, Natalie. Good morning, Roger.
Good morning, welcome.
Elections, your take?
Expectedly.
Everything's expected.
All the parties maintain their stronghold, so going forward, that's exactly what will happen in 2027.
All right.
Nothing different will happen.
How did you feel about the sweeping victory of APC?
Like I said, it's expected. It's expected. APC will maintain their strongholds, and the other parties will also most likely maintain their strongholds. So 2027 is a go.
Your thoughts on chances of ADC?
Well, not yet now, until we see who emerges as their flag bearer. Until we see who emerges as their flag bearer, we can now make postulations as what will happen.
All right, let's take a look at headlines, see how much of the election news made the front covers this morning. We'll begin with The Punch and the top story here. Workers' compensation. Federal government backtracks as NLC holds ground. NSITF moves to avert strike, says AGF will refund workers. NLC leaders meet. Nigeria deports 42 convicted Chinese-Philippine cyber criminals. 2 Nigerians die of suspected poisoning in Libya. ICRC issues new PPP guidelines for MDAs. NCPC resumes Israeli pilgrimage with 50% subsidy. Shipping crisis delays Dangote 3,550 CNG trucks. APC opposition clash over by-election results in 12 states. On The Guardian, over 10 banks, insurers risk forced merger in race for new capital. By-elections, opposition's fragility exposed as APC tightens hold with 12 of 16 seats. Afe Babalola canvasses better education sector to check insecurity. EFCC NIS deports 42 cyber criminals, 150 to follow. Pensioners deserve a duty of care and prompt payment. Serap 6 probe of pay to present motions bills claim. Alausa, we're bringing Nigerians out of school kids back to classroom. Replacing Tinubu with Jonathan, not solution, but system overhaul, says Farutimi. On the Nation top story here, APC trounces opposition in legislative by-elections. Major investors eye stakes in insurance sector. ICRC unveils guidelines for PPP projects. Fresh drive to tackle menace of out-of-school kids begins. 42 Chinese Filipinos convicted of cyber crimes deported. Straight to Daily Global. I'm traumatized. My body used for stickers. Emmanson speaks on Ibom Air Saga. Philanthropy Babatunde Olaogun's Royalty Foundation awards scholarship to daughter of physically challenged widow in Obomosho. Rivers LG polls Fubara's men in the dark. Weekend moves to retake political structure for Tinubu. Nigeria's debts to World Bank IDA hits $18.2 billion, according to a report. Chelsea starts Premier League season with stalemate against the Palace. On Nigerian News Direct, by-elections, opposition's kick as APC sweeps Ogun, Edo, Kaduna, others amid violence vote-buying allegations. Tinubu hails winners, commends INEC, APC leadership. PDP, NNPP reject results across several states, cites intimidation, manipulation. INEC declares Zamfara Assembly election inconclusive amid security concerns. Oshun unveils digital investment portal to fast-track business approvals. Federal government rescues 12 Nigerian workers from car. as rescued workers allege sexual abuse by Chinese employers. And lastly here, Ogun Agro Cargo Airport gets NCAA approval to commence commercial flights.
Vanguard. How APC swept by elections, wins 12 seats, APGA 2, PDP 1, and NPP 1. Tinubu feeds winners as opposition parties kick. Flawed by election, dress rehearsal for 2027 polls, says ADC. There may be no election in 2027 if, attributed to PDP, it's mockery of democracy, says LP. Our by-elections win endorsements of Tinubu, says APC. This one says Zenith Bank marks the 5th anniversary, celebrates pioneer customers, long-serving staff. FG, Jonathan, ACF celebrate IBB at 84. No fund loans will pay fees students are charged. Attributed to Al-Hausa. Zelensky rejects territorial concessions as Putin offers security guarantee. NLC strike notice. NSITF admits 50% deductions. Moving over to salient times. By-elections. APC, PDP, APGA retain strongholds. Tinubu leads winners of by-elections in 12 states. Commends INEC. NNPP rejects APC victory in Kanu, heads to court. Nigeria's electoral process has deteriorated under Tinubu, says ADC. Sirap asks AFCC, ICPC to probe NAS over 3 million naira bribe for bills allegation. Northern Group apologizes to Jonathan over lies, Boko Haram sponsorship. NDLEA arrests drug kingpin after 3-year manhunt, intercepts 7.8 billion naira opioids in Rivers. The FCC recovers over 5 billion naira, $10 million in refinery turnaround maintenance fraud. Police officer, 3 civilians arrested over alleged extortion robbery in Edo. 29-year-old man fakes own kidnap, demands 500,000 naira ransom from his father in Ondo. Moving over to Nigerian Tribune. By elections, APC consolidates ahead of 2027 race. Wins big in Kano, Adamawa, Soludo's APGA. Show strength in Anambra. PDP wins Oyo rep seats first time in 18 years. ADC humbled in Anambra. APC and NPP maintain rivalry in Kano. PDP in their strikes in Edo. Zamfara poll declared inconclusive. Our electoral process has deteriorated under Tinubu. ADC alleged results are a vote of confidence in Tinubu, our party, says APC. July 2025 inflation report, despite gains, precious species, says CPPE. Shake-up in Army, COAS redeploys top generals, cyber criminals. EFCC immigration deport dozens of Chinese Filipinos. And moving over to this day, by elections results, APC sweeps 12 constituencies, APGA 2, PDP 1, and NPP 1. And DSS gets kudos over recent major breakthroughs in fight against insecurity. And moving over to the last one right here, Daily Sun. APC, ADC clash over by-election outcome. Process flawed, claims opposition party Tinubu lauds exercise. Uncertainty over crude supply stalls, modular refinery investments, FIDs on hold as investors releases risks. Telcos under pressure as NCC cracks down on service failures, weak governance. 3 million naira bribe for bill. Sirap tells Akpabio Abbas to refer allegation to anti-graft agencies. Rivers, August 30 council elections sacrosanct, said Risiak. Monarch sues for peace. Police assure seamless exercise. Ongoing reforms will take education out of woods, says Alausa. Lastly, Lagos tops federal project charts with 5 trillion naira in 2 years.
All right. Thank you, Oji, for those headlines. I think we'll start from the major story here. Would like to look at the issues concerning the by-elections and how APC enjoyed majority of course, the wins at this election. I'd like to know your take on the conduct of the election, as well as the fact that President Tinubu has hailed the winners, despite the fact that irregularities were recorded in certain quarters. I mean, even without seeing the story, based on how INEC has been handling elections, you definitely know that there will be something, one thing or another going on. Your take?
There were reports of thuggery, brigandage, and vote buying. In fact, there was this major report from Anambra State that, the electors were paid 10,000 naira each to cast a vote. So these things are very bizarre, and I don't think INEC has done well. INEC has not actually improved. So we see the parties in power still maintaining their strongholds. So does it mean that people are not actually burdened under this administration? It means that Nigerians are helpless. It appears as if the politicians are just calling the shots. No matter what you think, they will say come back. They will say come back to power, no matter what the electorates think. So we saw a lot of rigging, a lot of thuggery, a lot of brigandage, a lot of bizarre stories of vote buying. These things are crime under the Electoral Act 2022. But we see them all through, and then people are complaining, and then nobody, and the president, at the speed of light, has already said that the election was well conducted, and then feted, and then, praised INEC, and then the winners of the election. So I think, like I said earlier on, it's expected. Nothing much have changed. It's just the same old stories, the same old tales we are hearing from the Nigerian elections.
One would think that at this point in time, regarding the pressure and the noise we saw the coalition, they're making, the headways and all that ADC could have used this opportunity to make a bold statement. Are you worried and bothered that all this noise will just fizzle out and nothing will happen in 2027? Because this election could have, given us a model of what would happen in 2027. But as we are saying, APC, they are still sweeping everywhere, even attaining new heights.
They have the broom, so they have the broom, so they should sweep. However, ADC is still a party.
I mean, that was some serious pun.
Yeah,
real pun intended.
They will interrupt him.
Go ahead.
The ADC is a party that is still building. They are still being arrested now. Even the national executive, they are still a shake-up. They don't know actually who is the real national party chairman of ADC now, because there are lots of interest. So it's still a party that's the coalition that is still at its formative stage. Like I said, until they have a presidential flag bearer, they will know where ADC is going. But as it is now, ADC is like every other party in Nigeria, every other opposition party in Nigeria. I think it's too early for us to have a conclusion as to the activities of ADC until we start seeing better structure. For now, ADC as a coalition doesn't have the requisite structure to win elections, as far as I'm concerned. So, but with time, towards the 2027 election, we see who they will throw up, because the flag bearer of a party determines a lot.
That's right.
Yes, because people will queue behind the flag bearer. So for now, there's nobody to queue behind. There's nobody who is calling the shots. There's no henchman who people are looking up to say, this is our beacon of hope to wrest power from APC. So such a person is yet to be brought up. So ADC is just like Labour Party here in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. So they will continue to flounder until they get a solid structure and then a presidential flag bearer. That Nigerians can say, fine, we can thrust this man or this woman to lead us out of the woods.
All right, let's take a look at Daily Global, because I know, Barrister Nwabuko, that's the story you're waiting for. I'm traumatized, my body used for stickers. Emmanson speaks on Ibom Air Saga. Now, Comfort Emmanson has been branded an Ibom Air passenger. Once you say Ibom Air passenger, ultimately you think of Comfort. So now she's a lifetime Ibom Air passenger. So let's get her take on what happened, because she has finally broken her silence. She has spoken and provided more context around what led to the scandalous display, the show of shame that we had seen just last week. Let's take a look at Comfort's account of how events played out, and then we'll gain Barrister Nwabuko's reaction. Take a look at this.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching me from. I want to come out fully to appreciate God Almighty and everyone that stood by me, that fought for me when I was in prison. When I came out, the love I saw, the support I saw from you people, I was never expecting it. For a commoner like me, you guys fought for me, you guys stood by me. I want to appreciate you all. I said that God Almighty will bless you. So on the 10th of August, on Sunday, I boarded a flight from Oyo to Lagos. So when we're inside the aircraft, the normal procedure happened. The lady Juliana was telling everybody from the front, like from the front seats, coming to the back because I was at the back. So she came to me. She said she came to me. So when she was coming forward, so she came and I was struggling to put my phone. I was putting my phone on flight mode. So she said no, that I have to put it off. So I told her that one of my phones, because I was with two phones, one of my phones is for a fault. The phone is bad. The power button is bad precisely. So I showed her that the power button is bad. So she said I can put off my phone without the power button. I said okay. So she said I should go to my settings. So while she was telling me go to your settings and all that, I went to my settings. So she said go to your general. So while trying to do that, the pressure from her, so the man that was sitting on my right now helped me and off one of the phone, put one of the phone off while we are struggling on the other one that has the power button is to. So she said I should go to the my general. I went to the general. I went to the settings and the general. So when I told her, okay, please, before then, I told her, please, can you assist me and spell general? She said she cannot touch my phone. She can never touch my phone. Children of nowadays. So I now turned to the guy that helped me to off one of my phone. I told him, please, can you assist me and spell general? So the guy now collected my phone and showed me and spelled type general on this thing. So when I went to her, okay, this is the general. I am here now. So the phrase that she was even giving me was not even encouraging. I had to plead with the same guy again on my right. So please, can you please do you know how to she said, do you know how to help me and off it from here, please? He now said, okay, no problem. He helped me and off the phone eventually. So now off the phone, the two phones, put it where it's supposed to be on the aircraft. And I thought, okay, I have offed my phone. So when she wanted to leave, she said, you will see. I didn't take that to heart because I've already eventually offed my phone, which I was having problem in offing it. So I eventually offed the phone. So that was it. When we landed Lagos, everybody was going out of the aircraft. I was pressed. I went to pee. So going to the toilet, somebody was already inside the toilet, and I had to wait for the person to come out. So when the person eventually came out, I went inside and pee and rushly come out. I cannot stay inside the toilet because it's so small and so uncomfortable to be in there. So I now rushed pee and packed myself again and come outside. So coming outside, everybody already left. I had to rush, carry my stuffs and move to rush out of the aircraft. So going out of the aircraft, this lady Juliana stopped me. And I asked her, why did you stop me? Why are you stopping me from going out of the aircraft? Everybody has left, so I need to go out. She didn't say anything to me. She was just staring at me with the same bad eye. And that was when I remember that this is the same person that was instructing me to put out my phone. I eventually did. So she said, she didn't say anything. No, she didn't say anything. She just she was just staring at me there with a bad eye. So that was when I, on my phone, put the phone, started recording. That was when she backed facing the front and backing me. So I was just please, madam, leave the road, let me pass. She didn't answer me. She ignored me. And after the video, I picked the phone. When I picked the phone, that was when she noticed I was videoing her. So she now pushed me inside the aircraft back, dragged my frontal. This is the frontal I wore that day. She dragged the frontal, dragged the process of dragging my clothes, my gold from neck. I was wearing, this is the gold I was wearing. She dragged it from my neck with the clothes. The process, my phone, everything went down and broke. The phone broke. The phone broke. Everything, even this one. So I was no, why did you do that? Why did you break my phone, drag my frontal? The pain of removing my frontal. You know how frontal can be when you install it here and then it's forcibly dragged out. It's so painful. So the pain of doing that to me, that was when I went to poke her. God knows that I can never go and poke an elderly woman, somebody that's old enough to be my mom. Poke her. For what? Poke her. It was the pain she inflicted on me. The frontal pain, dragging my gold and everything on the floor. That was the anger. I was so angry. I could not even hold it. That was why I was asking her, why did you do that on the video, the trending video they posted? And why did you do that? Why did you do that? I asked her, why did you do? Because you dragging my frontal wig and dragging me, calling me a prostitute at the process. No, I just had to ask her, why did you do that? Why did you do that? That was why I poked her on the video. Why did you do that? So while on that, the whole thing, those guys came inside the aircraft and started surrounding me, and I was like, why? Now dragged me outside. That was when they dragging me from there. You saw how they dragged me from the video. That was what happened. They came inside, dragged me outside, and then at the process, she now dragged my clothes, and the clothes, it was pin on me because it was pin. I thought that was my inner. It was pin on me. The pain of dragging it and its pain, it's wounded me inside. The pain and everything, the frontal pain, this other pain. I was just trying to help myself when they dragging me out of trying to cover myself. My body was out there, and then they were videoing at the process. My body was out. I was even looking for ways to cover it. Some of them were
And of course, Comfort Emmanson shared that on her personal Instagram page. Barrister Nwabuko, a lot has been said. Comfort has spoken up. She has revealed how traumatized she is. People online say she is visibly still traumatized. She has shared the accounts of how things went, how it appeared as if the air hostess was threatening her, said, "You'll see." And then everything started to show what the air hostess wanted her to see as everything progressed. Right. It's a serious matter. Somebody's dignity has been trampled upon. If you watch the video further, you would hear when she said she can't even carry out her business any longer. She can't even leave her house. You can see her wearing her hoodie fully covered up because everybody she sees her for that incident. You've been following the story with us, Barrister Nwabuko. What's your take on this development?
Well, for me, the video clip the video recording she made was not well thought out. It actually damaged what, she definitely will lose lots of followership because her story does not add up.
You think so?
However, yes, it does not add up. However, my take in all these things is the way she was treated, not the actions that led to the way she was scandalized and treated like a piece of junk. That is where it's all this story she's telling you. It's not adding up. You're giving somebody your phone to tell the person to spare general, tell you how to find settings on your phone. Now she said that she was recording the phone that was off. Come on, this story does not add up. Remember, she said that one man on the left, Abi at the back, helped her to off the phone. Another person also helped her to do the settings. Was that the same phone she was using to record the air hostesses? Maybe the Juliana of a person. So some of these stories are not necessary. And as for me, as long as I'm concerned, my major concern in all these things is how she was treated, how she was dragged out as if she was just a goat taken to the slaughter, how her clothes were torn out. Even the person that tore the clothes was on the video camera. The guy on the green scorecard was the person that pulled her blouse. He was there. If they wanted to take an action, the person that did it was visible in the video. So my worry is the way she was treated, the way she was speedily arraigned in court, and then all thanks to the Minister of Aviation that did the writing and then gave instruction for the charge to be withdrawn.
I think while I sympathize with Comfort, because I can't imagine any man or woman having to be in that kind of situation. It's something that's better left not even in a dream. It's better not even imagined at all. Now, I think the point of concern in this account for me, beyond the spelling of general, which could have, for me, may have been a challenge for her, even though it was her phone. So there are two ways to look at it. It's either she truly couldn't spell general, or secondly, she was being saucy in that, okay, spell it for me since they think I don't know. So those are the two possibilities. Now, we're not in the plane, so we can't tell what happened. But the major concern for me would be, If I remember the Murtala Mohammed Airport correctly,
Yes.
once you get into the baggage claim, there's a restroom at your immediate right, which you can go in to adjust yourself and relieve yourself. Why wait to use the toilet on the aircraft? I mean, someone is in there, so the next step will be to walk into the bus and wait till you get in. Why wait in line and then stay there and everybody leaves the aircraft? So it makes me wonder what the motivation was, what the intention was. Then let's backtrack to the air hostess. Now we know her name is Juliana. Juliana, quite an exotic name for someone that appears to be so troublesome. Juliana said, according to Comfort, you'll see, which is on its own already a threat. And for someone who is very strong and independent, should want to understand what you mean by you'll see. I mean, you're threatening me. Okay, let's see outside. Let's wait outside. See me outside. You know, that kind of expression. Because Juliana already provoked her by saying you'll see. And her attitude towards helping her turn off the phone. So there's that. It's established according to this account, if it proves true, that Juliana provoked the Ibom air passenger, Comfort Emmanson, by saying you'll see. The question for me is now, what was the motivation behind using the restroom? Everybody leaving the aircraft, you're still in there. This is an aircraft. Usually when an aircraft lands, there's a hurry to get off the aircraft.
Yes.
I hardly see anybody going back. I mean, if you look at it realistically, people are all standing at the same time, picking their luggage at the same time. Why do you have to sit there only to use the restroom when you should be following the bandwagon out of the aircraft? So what I'm not sure of, Barrister Nwabuko, is the motivation, having already been incited by Juliana.
You know, one thing is that we have not heard Juliana's side of the story. One of the twin pillars of justice that let the other party be heard. We've not heard Juliana's stories. We are not there when she was allegedly threatened. So we are not. So whether she used the toilet in the aircraft or the one downstairs is her choice. So you must not force her to use any particular lavatory to ease herself. That one is totally her choice. What I'm saying is that the entire story from her does not add up. Whatever she said, there's a disconnect between the story she narrated and then how she was thrown off the aircraft. There's a disconnect. Everybody left. She was still there. Why was she there? Was she detained? I was expecting her to say why. I wanted to move. I was stopped from leaving. Other passengers were allowed to leave. I was stopped from leaving. I was obviously being punished because my phone was on.
But she
that
did
make a better story.
She did say that. She did mention that Juliana was blocking her from leaving. And that was when she started.
Every other passenger has alighted. There was no other passenger on the plane. At the time Juliana stood, forcibly imprisoned her, because that's forced imprisonment.
Right.
At the time Juliana prevented her from leaving the aircraft, there were no other passengers in that craft. That was my story. So why other passengers were alighting? What was she doing?
She was
waiting to use the
restroom.
Yeah, it will make a better story that why other passengers were alighting down from the plane, that maybe two guys grabbed her, they held her down, and the other passengers left. That would make a better story for me. If she tells the story in court, she will lose that case too.
So what do you think about the other part of the story? Now, away from the lavatory, she said that this air hostess removed her frontal, which is very painful because you have to glue it down as a lady. Removed the frontal, tore it off, smashed her phones, called her a prostitute, so many things, unspeakable names.
Yes.
What's your own take on the escalation? Because the opinions on social media as always are divided. Some people say that it's impossible for an air hostess to do something like that. She's not trained to do that. Some say that it's possible. This Juliana is very troublesome. Where do you tend to throw your weights behind?
Well, I would throw my weight behind evidence, just beyond her own piece of evidence. We still have to place the evidence of Juliana on the scale and then see the one that is weightier, because it's her own story. We will not hear the other side. Her frontal was torn off, she was molested, she was this, that, until we see evidence on ground. So if she wants to push the matter further on a criminal litigation, then she will produce evidence. If there were cameras on the craft, we don't know about that. But then, in the midst of all these things, I think she needs closure. That's what she was trying to get. But then, I think she needs to see a clinical psychologist that will talk to her, because obviously she was traumatized.
Right.
What she needs now is not to start making videos and then, being on social media and arguing with people who will be for and against. I think she needs to be evaluated and helped to ease off the trauma. That's what she needs now. Beyond going on social media, she doesn't need that now, because definitely people will mock her. Her traducers will come out to try to paint her red. And, after this happened, people started throwing her pictures everywhere. I said, she's a stripper, she's a copier, blah, 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 blah. So what she says, she has always been flaunting her boobs in the public. That's what social media does. So what I think that she needs now is for a clinical psychologist to calm her down, help her to get out of the trauma, not to start making videos. For me, it's not necessary to start making videos, because if you watch the trend on X, a lot of people are even saying that she's wrong, because the story is not adding up. We don't need these stories now. We've seen the greater part of the story, that she was actually maltreated and mishandled. That is the big thing for me.
That's the big story.
That was the big story, understand? That she was not treated like her dignity was dragged to the mud. That is what we should be looking at. Not all the stories about telling somebody to spare general, she went to pee. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that.
But apparently, right, there's need to establish the story, the deception, how it was started, what triggered the actions, and what, got the counter reaction to the action, right? So, and that's what she did. Well, it's over a week now, right? Before she, she put out
it's over a week now.
According to her, she was released. She was receiving treatment, and you can see in the video that she's wielding a cannula as well.
Yeah. So apparently, but as you stated, she's not meant to at this point in time. Telling us the story. She needs a clinical to whatever fix her and all that. But the thing is, a story needs to be told to connect the story out there in the public space, which she just did right now. But my worry here is that you said that it's not important or vital right now. People have been there waiting for this singular clip to come out to, mold opinions again. But now it's out. What's this girl's fate?
Now, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that it's not important. What I'm saying is that, is she in the right frame of mind to start granting interviews?
Well, for her to already,
that suggests that she's traumatized.
Right.
That suggests that she's not. If you are traumatized, you can't make videos. I am telling you the gospel truth. So that's what I'm saying. It's not adding up. She's actually making a mess of her case. If she's traumatized, she's calm. She's cool. She's collected. She's making videos. It's clearly suggesting that she's not traumatized.
So she's playing a victim here.
Obviously. Is it? This will even damage her case more. I'm telling you the truth.
Sorry.
Because if you see a person who is traumatized, you will not be in the right frame of mind. She's cool. She's okay. From the video, her videos.
From everything that happened, leading to this issue, between Juliana and Comfort Emmanson, who is the guilty person here?
Nobody knows until the matter,
of course,
until the matter is investigated.
We've actually seen the part, the part Juliana played, right? And also the part Comfort played. So who is actually the person who is guilty here?
From the video, she was the person that was hitting Juliana. Remember, I opted to defend her, right?
That's why I have to connect the story. That's what I'm saying. The reason why. Now, she said that because she was recording, and she now realized that she was recording her, she smashed her phone. That's when she dragged her frontal and her gold.
Did you see all these things?
Wait, now.
Did you see all these actions?
Now, leading to her hitting Juliana, because Juliana was blocking her from getting down the plane because she was waiting for the security guys to come get her, right? So that was when she was doing the hitting and all that. As she stated that she wouldn't do that to anybody who's old enough to be her mother. That is because of her actions. So that's why she's getting that type of reaction. So at that point in time, she's already pissed. And this woman or lady stated that you're going to see. And she started seeing it already.
No. Let me tell you the other side of the story that Juliana might tell you. What if Juliana says that she took all the time in the aircraft to prepare trumped-up charges against her? She stayed back when other passengers alighted from the craft. The other story is this. Assuming that she stayed back, removed her frontal by herself, smashed her phone, to create evidence against Juliana, because what we saw from the video that was recorded was Juliana blocking her passageway, which is wrong. I am maintaining that it is false imprisonment. What if she was a person that cooked up those evidence against Juliana? Don't you think it's a possibility? That's why I'm saying that all those videos is not necessary. Whatever she has, if she intends to go to court, she has to calm down, arrange her case very well, so that she can win her case. Cases are not won on one-sided evidence alone. Juliana is here to tell her story. What if Juliana says she removed her frontal by herself? Remember, there is no pictorial evidence. How will she prove that Juliana removed the frontals by herself? How will she prove that Juliana smashed the phone? This is a matter of evidence. It's not just because of her story. She has a beautiful story, and that story can be countered. What if Juliana comes out tomorrow and says, I didn't touch her? And the video we all saw was her hitting Juliana. Obviously, she was provoked. But what was the level of provocation?
Who will bridge people's doubts? Who's going to bridge people's doubt at this point in time? Because the passengers, they were alighted. But if any evidence or any, maybe another clip from anybody that works with Ibom Air surfaces online telling us their own part of the story, would you believe it?
I will not believe it until both evidence are placed side by side. And they are subjected to the fire of cross-examination, because you can tell your stories until you are cross-examined. Then the true story will come out. That's just basically what it is.
But from accounts from some individuals that were in that flight, even I think the guy that was seated with her or close to
the guy that off the phone, allegedly, yeah.
They almost, what was she's saying? They almost aligned. That she came to her asking her to switch off her phone. Yes. Because she said already she had put it on airplane mode, flight mode, right? And the same guy from that note stated that she said that she can't read, or apparently something like that, right? That she should help, right? So now from this clip, she's almost saying the same thing that dude, put out there.
Did the guy make a video?
He didn't make. He actually did a note.
A note.
And I think there are two of them. I think there are two of them. He's part of the part. He stated that he had to speak up because nobody's speaking up for the girl. Yes. And they were asking who are the passengers that were seated in that airplane.
Yeah.
A couple of people, like two dudes, right? Yeah. They came out with their statement. And almost everything they're saying was aligning with the same thing this clip just stated.
Did they also say that frontal was removed by Juliana? Did they also say that because
let's connect the story.
Because the issue here is not whether she off the phone. It was about an assault on her.
When the assault happened,
yes, it was
there
assault.
Was nobody in the flight, as she stated. That was when she was recording, right? When she was done, when Juliana noticed that she was recording, that's when the frontal happened.
That is why she needed to sit down and arrange her case very well to get evidence to support her matter. A matter will not be decided on the evidence of one person alone without corroboration. That is the issue. I said the other day that I would gladly defend her and I will win the case. But if she's telling me this kind of stories without enough evidence, my dear, we may lose the case. Now, what I'm saying is this. I saw how she was molested. It was like an arrow shot to my heart. Nobody should be treated like that. What I'm saying is that if she intends the matter to go to court, she must first calm down and clearly itemize and arrange the evidence she will produce in court. That's my take.
All right.
Because you will not decide the matter based on one-sided story. Juliana is yet to release her own story.
All right. We're going to continue to monitor this. Facts are still very much unclear at this point, but what we can say for sure is that there's been a development. Another account by someone who has been carried out or presented as a victim of this incident. Now, I think while we're still trying to assess what happened in the aircraft, one thing is for sure, the situation was handled very unprofessionally by Ibom Air. There's a way to handle a passenger who has defaulted, who is unruly. Under no grounds, under what circumstance would you expose somebody in such a manner? I mean, how prepared are you for landing on ground and handling an unruly passenger? How prepared are you for handling things beyond emergency situations that have to do with life or death? This was a human being, a lady. At the end of the day, everything was out there, no matter what. Some would just simply say, two wrongs don't make it right. And lots of people have blacklisted the airline as a result of that. They're making posts online saying that. So it's important for all parties, I think, to take responsibility. Things escalated. Ibom Air should learn how to de-escalate situations. I mean,
That's my take.
The strategic PR
That's my take.
team
That's my
needs
take.
to be,
Yeah,
needs
that's
to
my
be
take.
overhauled, because the way they handled the situation was
beyond PR,
very
PR
unprofessional.
has to do with more of image laundry. You're
Yes,
trying
they
to
have
wash your image.
It doesn't matter literally, because every
Right.
institution or company needs to apply. Like if you're in a public space, right, you need to have a strategic, functional PR team.
Oji, what I'm saying is that this is not about PR. PR is whitewashing.
No,
let me make my point,
at
all
the
right?
end of the day-
Let me make my point. PR is about whitewashing. You've messed up, now you want to clean up. And that's exactly what they're doing.
They
And
didn't
that's why many
listen.
people are flooring them. I think
They're meant to
beyond PR,
advise
they need
them
to have
on
a
how
proper
to take-
training. Beyond advice.
These are
They need
these are
to
all
be
part of it, right?
they
Are
need to
part
be
of it.
trained
The
on
staff
how
that
to
handle this issue should be sanctioned.
They should be sanctioned.
They should be sanctioned,
They should be
suspended.
sanctioned.
And then,
It was wrongly handled. Ibom Air does not need PR.
They
Ibom
needed
Air
advice-
needs to
they
train
needed
their
them-
staff.
No, they needed them to advise on what steps to take, right? You're even taking what's her name? Comfort to Kirikiri. Because it's a public thing already. Or maybe they didn't know it's going to blow up this way. But then you have to know that your institution is in the public sphere, right?
She was obviously in prison in that airplane. That's
Right.
where I'm coming from. He was obviously in prison. She was trying to fight her way out.
And another problem is that before the release of that clip,
Yes.
you get these are ways, these are instances that they have to advise them. You don't do such thing because it's going to be detrimental to the company, and it's already happening.
All right, let's leave it at that. Look, you keep on harping on the company. It's going to be detrimental to the company.
But it's happening already.
You're not. Let me make this point. A young girl, probably in her early 30s or late 20s or mid 20s, has been mutilated for life. Regardless of all this social media talk about, oh, she's gained followers. Yes, her followers have spiked up. She's, making the waves. Everybody's talking about her. But what kind of conversation are they having? Do you know what it means for everybody? Let me make my point, Oji. Oji, let me make my point. Everybody to watch you and see that
are not
you're
meant to release that.
So now that they've done it, all right. Now that they've done it, every staff in fact, if everybody had alighted the aircraft, then whomever released that video obviously is a staff of Ibom Air. There was nobody else there.
Definitely.
So beyond advice, because it gets to a point when you say, don't do it again too much, the child will continue to do it. That person, and I agree with you, Barr, because should be thoroughly sanctioned. Because if you can't disgrace someone in such a manner, I mean, if you had caught out, look at this, all the media stations in Nigeria are removing that part of the video where she was exposed.
You can't air it.
Why you?
You can't air it.
Why you?
It's scandalous. You can't
It's scandalous. You can't do that because you ruined this woman. Her children would see it. Her grandchildren will see it. Her great-grandchildren will see it. No matter what she did.
The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace, I think she called for the head of anybody who actually released that.
We have not yet seen the head of the person.
That's what I'm saying. They should be seen to have been suspended and sanctioned. All those stuff. Even one of them was even screaming. In fact, the name of one of them was mentioned. The guy that was standing just outside the door of the aircraft was screaming the name of another guy, calling one Yoruba guy to come and help drag the girl out. So they have a name. If that's what they're looking for. They have a name of one of the assaulters.
They even have, I think they have a picture of the lady that was standing, apparently maybe doing the
saying someone was drag her out. This is her there.
Right.
This is her there. So if you say what Jelena did, she stood in the doorway. So they had to detain her till the security operatives came. It was clearly premeditated. These are the issues that will be for conversation.
These are serious issues. And Barr, we're going to continue this conversation. Oji, I mean, for me, it goes beyond PR. The damage has been done. They need to
communication. It wasn't right.
They need to train. They need to train their personnel. They need to sanction the personnel responsible, no matter how wrong, no matter if she was being saucy or not. The point is, you have destroyed a young woman, and I don't even want to say destroyed because I want to see this as an opportunity for her to even better herself. She will get out of this. And I mean, if Comfort is watching this, one thing we should say at Afia TV is it's going to stop. It's going to get better. Incidents like this can push someone to, I don't want to say the word, These are very traumatic incidents. Your lecturers, your parents, your grandparents, your children to come, your teachers, perverts, everybody is seeing you out there in the open after everything you struggled to build. If Comfort is watching this, one thing we say about Afia TV is it is going to be better.
Yeah.
No matter how intense the frenzy seems now, it's going to be better. In a couple of weeks, couple of months, Nigerians will move on. It's going to be better.
The person that released that video.
That is what will give her closure.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're out of time now.
What will give Comfort closure? We give her closure is that those who did that to her must be sanctioned. That is the only thing that will give us closure.
And compensation as well.
As long as they're out there without being sanctioned,
we're out of time at this point. We'll continue this conversation. I mean, it's emotional. It's an emotional conversation, but we'll follow it. Thank you once again, Barr Nwabuko.
My pleasure, always.
The morning show returns in just seconds as we rush through regional stories and start an interesting conversation around the Enugu South Urban Constituency election that, of course, failed yet again. Now, it's great to establish at this point that Enugu South Urban Constituency has lacked representation at the Enugu State House of Assembly for a long time. We'll assess implications of this in just seconds. Stay tuned.